you can learn a lot about life on the big island of Hawaii. What sustains it? And how today is everything until it's over. How it can be rejuvenated to reveal what's deep inside. And how boundaries are made to be broken. Those lessons come here in an event called the Ironman. 1,800 people united by the challenge to prove, to inspire, to finish a once thought to be unreachable distance. Most of them are you and me.
I am a plumber, firefighter, teacher,
a lawyer,
a Marine,
FBI,
pharmacist, hair colorist,
waitress,
massage therapist.
I'm a nun.
Tomorrow, I go back to being a foreign currency trader.
One comes to be a champion like he was a year ago. Another to reprove his strategy works. A woman tries to join the all-time greats. Then there are those proven athletes who now so desperately want what winning here will say about them. But they are the minority. The everyman is a soldier fighting a new battle. A nun riding into the sunset. A firefighter embracing a blaze. And a total embrace of the word ability. What happens now changes lives every year. It all starts in the pre-dawn hours. And no one competing this year has enjoyed the success of 39-year-old Natasha Bodman of Switzerland.
That's good. Thank you.
Last year, she tied Dave Scott and Mark Allen with her 6th win. That's only 2 wins behind Paula Newby-Frazier's all-time record. Last year, she ran down McKeely Jones, who was making her Ironman debut. Now Jones is back, and she's trained by none other than Paula Newby-Frazier. Jones has triathlon experience, having won the silver medal in the Sydney Olympics. Race at this distance. While a select few have thoughts of winning in Kona, most just want to finish. 76-year-old sister Madonna Buter is back for her 20th Ironman. The lasting image of the 2005 Ironman was John Blaze. He finished the race with ALS. He said, "I'm going to finish under my own power, or they're going to have to roll me across the finish line." Well, he did it under his own power. "12 months later, his ALS has advanced. He's confined to a wheelchair, facing certain death.
My focus coming back here this year was to bring the war on ALS to Kona. You know, talk about a disease, Lou Gehrig's disease, that not many people know much about. They don't know how hideous the disease is. I mean, the fact that I did the race last year, here I am sitting now in a wheelchair like I predicted. Next year, I won't be sitting in front of any cameras. I'll be gone.
His name is Brian Breen. He's from Chicago. When he watched last year's show, he didn't know John Blaze. What he did know is that he was inspired to try and do something an Ironman would do.
Well, first off, I made some calls to see that I could do this, that I could go from, 186, 185 pound, kind of out of shape, non-trained, regular guy, average man, to an Ironman in about 5, 6 months. Then I went out trying to basically find John Blaze through the internet. When I found his email address, I just sent him a real simple email, and I just said, "Look, I'm going to Kona. How can I help?"
I got an email from Brian back in July. And at that point, I lost the ability really to type well on the computer. So I just said, hey, I typed in, "Hey, please give me a call." A little later on that day, the phone rang, and he was like, "Well, I've won a lottery slot." His first time out, he won a lottery slot, and he wanted to come and race for a cause that was bigger than himself.
taking that baby to the finish line right there.
So I said, well, if you consider racing from, Team Blazeman and myself, I said, I think we can make something happen that the world will hear.
A world that thankfully has a Brian Breen in it. The men's defending world champion is Germany's Faris Al-Sultan. Sometimes they say the finish is just a blur of emotions. How about a total blackout?
My crossing the finish line, I don't have any remembrance of that. It's completely gone. Long after I've won, I was having a shower and then, it popped up like, hey, you really did that?
Finishing the Ironman is major. Winning, extraordinary. Repeating, well, everything has to go right. Just ask 2004 champion Norman Stadler. He had a 2-flat tire experience last year, and his chances of repeating were done. A meltdown ensued.
I'm a flat tire!
You can understand Stadler putting in a little bit more preparation time at the bike racks. 32-year-old Australian Chris McCormack. He has been a leader during the race. But he has horror stories after that.
My experiences here have been brutal, to be honest. I came here, I think every year I've started this race as one of the favourites. And I've been so successful at every other race I've ever done, and this one has seemed to haunt me.
Last year was his best finish ever, 6th place. Final preparations for Switzerland's Natasha Bodman. Her competition includes Australia's Michaeli Jones, who after not making the Australian Olympic team prior to Athens, decided to go long distance.
I swore and swore and swore until 2004. There's no way you would ever see me do an Ironman. But it's cool. I know why people do Ironman.
Michaeli was a major player in short-distance triathlons for 16 years, but this is a different ballgame. Up-and-comer Desiree Ficker from Texas.
The best part.
Her preparation included arriving at the pier before everyone, including the volunteers.
Cannon goes off when you feel like you want to throw up and you're nervous, and I usually take some big deep breaths just to get everything settled.
Before the cannon goes off, everybody's nervous. Everyone's wondering how they're going to feel on this day that they've prepared so hard for.
In the morning I wake up and I feel so nervous. You have the butterflies in your stomach, the anticipation of what's going to happen. But as soon as I jump in the water, I just have this calm that goes over me.
It's pretty emotional at the start, and you'd think after racing so many times it wouldn't be, it'd just be a piece of cake, but there's something about it, you almost want to cry just before the start of the race.
In many of my Ironmans, I get very emotional at the beginning because, I'm not going to see the people who I love for maybe 9 hours, and I'm going to have to push myself to beyond limits of pain.
Everybody before the race feels something is pinching here and not working 100% there, but this is just the usual nervousness before the race, and as soon as the cannon goes off, everything's cured and you're a 100% race machine.
Like everyone else, we want to get going. Just before the gun goes off, you're just like, come on, hurry up.
The elite competitors are given a head start from the rest of the 1,800 people who make up the race. Too many times, overzealous back of the packers have gotten in the way. Not anymore.